Alright, so the tail's in the air. Hour to 60 miles an hour, and so now we're flying. So you see how you can kind of see along Kansas and then it starts getting real hazy there? That's from the dust. Normally you can see a lot further. Alright, we'll turn around to the right here, right back this direction. There's where we just took off. Alrighty. Go just a little bit higher. Would you like to try flying?
No.
Okay. So what do you know about flying?
Nothing.
Alright, so the tail has an elevator, and the elevator is controlled by the stick. If you pull the stick back, the elevator will force the nose up. If you push the stick forward, it'll force the nose down. So we can go up like this.
Whoa.
Or we can go down, which right now is just kind of getting us light, and then we can start pointing downhill. So that's one axis of control. The other one is the ailerons, which you can see on the wings. So if I lean the stick to the right, that aileron will go up, and that aileron will go down.
Wow.
So if I lean it to the right, and that makes the wings lean, and then we can turn. Flying is actually a fairly simple thing when it comes to engineering. We've been doing it for 100 years. So this airplane is actually fairly simple too. You can fly without all the computers and things like that. Are you from around this area?
No.
Where are you guys from?
Stewartsville.
Sorry, what?
Stewartsville.
Ah, I don't know where that is. So normally, you'd be able to see the Kansas City skyline over there, but it's too hazy for that. And then you can just barely see it right there in the haze right in front of us. That's Kansas City International Airport. past the town of Leavenworth.
North Rapids, Sherman.
And there's the Missouri River, so now we're in Missouri. Sherman traffic, Stabia 49 November Hotel, 2 miles to the south. Going to cross over to the east side of the airport from the south, Sherman traffic. So the building with the dome over there is the federal prison where they put all the bad people.
Wow.
And then, let's see, that's downtown. This area up here is Fort Leavenworth, the military part. You can see they've got a runway as well, so that's their airport right there. It's kind of hard to see, but right here and where the river turns, there's a couple of buildings right down there next to the river. And as you go up the hill, there's actually still some ruts in the ground from where the wagon trains would come across Missouri and head up to the Lewis and Clark Trail and things like that.
That's cool.
All right, so let's go this way a second.
Arrivals expectile S runway 19 or right. Notice to airmen. Runway 19 or
So 1312, runway 19 right, taxi via Lima Bravo.
taxiway Echo closed between runway 27 and taxiway Echo 7. Taxiway Echo. Check FDC NOTAMs. Taxiway Lima closed to it.
I always have a lot to say on that channel.
Hazardous weather information for the Midwest available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact. You have information X-ray. Kansas City International Tower AITIS information X-ray 20530. Wind 180 at 18. Gusts 23. Visibility 9er. 4,500 scattered. 5,500.
Kansas City Tower, November 49, November Hotel.
49 from November Hotel, International Tower.
49 November Hotel is approximately 8 miles to the west near Sherman Army Airfield. I'd like to request a flyover, a quick touch and go if you have the time for it.
49 November Hotel, roger, cleared into Bravo airspace, enter a right base, runway 19 right, say type aircraft.
Right base for 19 right, clear to the Bravo, and where's the Tabria, 49 November Hotel. You look down there, and I think those are cornfields. You can actually see the wind moving through the corn.
Whoa.
And we're 9 November Hotel Squawk 0344 ident.
0344 is the flash 49 November Hotel.
We're 9 November Hotel radar contact 5 miles north west International Airport.
49 November Hotel.
We're 9 November Hotel, what are your intentions after the touch and go?
49 November Hotel, request a left close and then a crossover to go back to the west.
9 November Hotel, roger, after your touch and go, make left traffic northbound, advise when you turn in westbound.
49 November Hotel, thanks. So right now, we're doing about 80 miles an hour through the air. That's what this gauge says, but we actually have a lot of wind coming from this direction today. So we're only doing about 65 or so across the ground. So if we were going the other way, we'd actually be going faster. That's the downside of flying into the wind sometimes. Alright, so do you see that blue water tower out there?
Yeah.
Now look beyond the blue water tower, and there's another tower behind it, and that's the Kansas City International Control Tower. And you can see a couple of airliners sitting back there.
Scottswood 261, International Runway 19 right taxi via Delta Lima Bravo. So 1312, turn left heading 170, runway 19 right, clear for takeoff.
Left here 170, 19 right, clear for takeoff, Southwest 1312.
Sabri 9 November Hotel traffic, Boeing 737 departing 19 right.
49 November 12, direct site.
9 November Hotel, roger, maintain visual separation of that traffic, caution for turbulence, runway 19 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 49 November 12. What we're going to do, there's the runway right there for Kansas City International. And you probably can't see it quite over the nose, but there's the Southwest Airlines getting ready to take off right there. We're going to get in behind him, we're going to land behind him, and then we're going to take off again. We're going to turn left, go around the tower, take a look at the airport, and then we'll turn left again, head back towards the runway.
Okay.
It's 1495 on national ground, push approved, expect runway 19 right, X-rays current. So 1312, contact departure, good day.
1312, switch departure.
So if you were flying in from, I don't know, wherever, Denver, Chicago, Florida today, you'd be in a big airplane, you'd be flying down the final this way, and you'd land on this same runway. See right in front of us, there's the FedEx hub. That's where the FedEx airplanes are parked. Alright, quick landing at the airport here. Alright, here we go. We'll take back off again. So who's that? Oh, United. So there's United taxiing out. There's UPS sitting there. There's the control tower where they're sitting watching us. Where they're doing the work on the new terminal. Then you can see the two old circular terminals still sitting there.
9 November Hotel, you wanted to depart to the north or you want to go to the west?
49 November Hotel, we're going to the west.
Okay, you make the left turn out, just cleared out of Bravo airspace northbound on the left turn out. There will be traffic on final for runway 19, right?
49 November Hotel. Over there is all the Delta Airlines that are parked since...
International Tower, Southwest 6709, right, base is visual, 19 right.
6709, International Tower, runway 19 right, clear to land.
Thank you much, sir, clear to land, 19 right, Southwest 6709.
That's all the...
November Hotel, can you continue the left turn and just cross over midfield towards the west?
49 November Hotel, we'll go. Since the airline traffic has been so low, they've parked all their airplanes. That's actually... that's a taxiway they've got most of them parked on, but that's the other runways right there is where they got some of them parked. So they've actually closed that runway to use for parking. November Hotel is pointed west.
9 November Hotel, thanks. Traffic, final 5 mile final, runway 19 right. Plus 1495, runway 19 right, taxi via Delta Lima Bravo.
Some people say it looks like Mickey Mouse down there. It's just a windy day. I wish we could go a little bit higher, but the clouds right there make it a little difficult. So why don't you try it for a second? Why don't you go ahead and grab the stick?
Okay.
Okay, now you've got the stick, and so I'm not flying anymore. I'll help you out with the throttle just so we don't mess that up. So if you want, you can lean us to the right a little bit. We'll turn that way a little bit. There you go. And then pull back just a little bit. There you go. So now we can roll out. Good. So now we're pointing pretty much due west, give or take. I'll try to get out of your way so you can see out front here. Alright, raise the nose just a little bit by pulling back on the stick. There you go, that's good. Now let's turn left and get, head that way or so. And then pull back just a little bit as you turn. Good. Good. That's perfect.
South 6709 to left Alpha 10, tax ramp this frequency.
Left Alpha 10 to the ramp with U Southwest 6709.
So the last one that I didn't tell you about was the rudder. So the rudder's on the back of the airplane. And really the only thing we use that for while we're flying is
keeping
the tail behind the nose. So these are your rudder pedals right here. I've got two up front.
50-261.
49 November Hotel, leaving Bravo airspace, radar service terminated, for exchange approved.
49 November Hotel, leaving your frig, thanks. 22.
Whoa.
That's right. Oh, there we go. We got some bumps is all it is. Just turbulence. Just feel it a little bit more because the airplane's just so light. Relatively speaking. Alright, so I was saying the rudder. So the rudder is the pedals. So keep flying, but I'm going to push the right rudder, and you see that kind of swings the tail that way.
Yeah.
And if I push the left rudder, it swings the tail the other way.
Whoa.
It also kind of rolls with it at the same time. So normally you don't have two people flying at the same time, but I just want to show you what that looked like. Do a good job. Cross back over into Kansas. All right, let's see what we can see. All right, is there anything else you'd like to do before we go back and land?
No.
Okay. So we take off into the wind, and we land into the wind. The wind is coming from the south today. That's why we are taking off and landing to the south. So when we get back to the airport, which is just off in front of us, we're just going to land in the same direction that we took off.
Okay.
So we're getting back towards the town of Lansing here. do you think? Is it easy or hard?
Easy.
Yeah, it's not that hard. You're right. You have a driver's license yet?
Nope.
I've actually, I managed to solo a young man in high school before he had his driver's license.
Oh, wow.
So he was able to take an airplane airborne by himself, but he could not take a car by himself. In order to get your license, you need to be 17. But you can do all kinds of training prior to that and just take your, some people will take their test on their 17th birthday. Alright, looking good. So as we fly this way, there's an intersection right here and a road that goes off that way, that's to the west. Let's turn right and fly down that road. There you go, good. Yeah, I wish you had a slightly cooler, smoother day, but that's not too bad. Alright, I'll go ahead and take the airplane from here.
Okay.
So I have the airplane. I'm going to fly us over this way. So the airport's actually right there, just kind of hard to see from this angle. Out in front of us. Do our little pre-landing checklist. Yes, good. Indicator's down, mixture's good. All power prop, speed, seatbelts, we're all good there. Alright, so we're ready to land. Whew. Sun finally went away. That's the local high school down there. So there's one thing I'll show you before we actually land at the runway right there. Have you ever heard of an airplane stall?
No.
Okay, so stall just means that the wings aren't producing lift anymore, so the airplane starts to descend. You tend to hear about it a lot on the news, and people don't know what they're talking about, quite honestly. Stalls are really not that big a deal, and I'll show you. So if we bring the power all the way back, so the engine's still going to be running, but it's going to be pretty slow. So it's nice and quiet. The engine's still running. Now our speed is getting slower and slower and slower. So eventually the airplane is going to say, that's a little too slow for me, and it's going to want to start descending, so the nose will fall.
Whoa. Whoa.
Now the nose comes down, and that's it. The airplane stalled, and it did nothing but decide to keep on flying. A little bit of engine swell coming in the cockpit there is all. But some people are real scared of that kind of thing, and if you hear about it on the news, it sounds like the worst thing ever, but really, it's not that big a deal.
It's fun.
Alright, so now we'll get ourselves turned around here. There's the runway down there. Back on the right frequency. Reduce our power so we can go back and land. That's our base turn, here's final. And now we're pointing pretty much down the runway, we just got to fight the wind a little bit. It's a windy day. Bit of wind over the trees here. And that's it.